Okay, good afternoon or good evening. It's about 8:25 p.m. on a Saturday evening in Arizona. It's a little warm out, but that's okay. I hope that your evening or your weekend is full of really cool things. So, eat some barbecue for me because I'm not going to be eating any this weekend. So, anyway, to the charts. I got asked about somebody, well, how would you trade this? So I figured I would pull a market that I haven't traded in quite some time. This is crude oil. This is CL. Okay, I've got the rollover set. Let me set that for volume-based rollover because I don't want to trade a thin market. Okay, so now here we go. Here's my chart. So I walk in on Friday morning at 7:45. Okay, how am I going to trade that? Okay, I've got say 740, 745. And this is what I'm looking at. I got it on a 7-tick reversal chart, which is really, really nice. How am I going to trade that? Okay, well, first thing I see on my chart, and I'm going to look at what's been going on overnight. Okay, here's Friday. So basically what's been happening is that the market has been bouncing off this level overnight. Okay, hasn't been able to penetrate that level. So, okay. So, what do I think about that? It's an hour to open, hour and a half, about an hour and a half to pit open on crude oil. So I'm looking at that guy and going, okay, I don't want to play this. What's going on? So yesterday, we can look at, and I'm not even looking at news. I'm not looking at geopolitical things. I'm not looking at anything. I'm just focused on the charts and seeing what's going on. Where's support? Where's resistance? So I see that price went at right around pit close yesterday. Here's pit close yesterday. Okay, so that was at 14:30 yesterday, New York time. So pit close, they pushed it down here. Okay, that's 57.70. So I figure, you know what? They're probably going to retest that level today. Okay, so they ran it up after pit close. What do? They bought it up $1,000. Here we go. Here's a level. So we're looking. What I'm looking at. I'm looking at support and resistance zones. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to these guys, the solid ones, not a tremendous amount, because those have not been tested. Okay, those are just those levels where the price bounced, where the market bounced, and those are potential upside and downside targets, but the market has not tested them. So I don't know until the market tests them whether it's going to be valid or not. So what I do is I'm going to put this guy way the heck down here. Okay, I'm going to look at that. So I'm looking at, okay, do I have a trade right now? No, I don't have a trade right now. But I've got this support zone right there, okay, which is at about 58.40, which is right below, well, let's see. If we go from 57.70 to 58.70, that would be 58.20 as basically halfback point. Okay, you're looking at 58.20, 58.40 maybe a 61.8 reversal just off. This is just off the back of my head here. Just looking at where price action was yesterday at pit close. There's the unfinished business. I could measure that and say, okay, fine. Or I could just kind of eyeball it. Okay, so I just eyeballed it. Here we go. So what do I want to do? Do I want to set up a trade right now? I don't want to wait for pit? Well, price action's been pretty reliable, bouncing off this guy and coming up and bouncing off this guy. Well, that'd be a nice start to the morning, 58.40 to 58.70, 70-ish, right up in here, right up in this zone. So let's set up a trade. So that'd be a nice $300 for the morning. Okay, and I don't have to scalp it. I don't have to do anything. I wait for the market to come to me, right? And again, I am totally unfamiliar with crude oil because I haven't traded I've dabbled in crude oil. I know people that make a lot of money trading crude oil. I just kind of, I look at the charts occasionally. I've been intentionally staying away from it because I don't want to get sucked in without some proper tools. Anyway, so I come down here and I want to place a buy limit order down here. And I want to place that at about 58. Let me put that right at the top of that zone. About 58.40, say 58.40, okay? So my top of that zone, and I've got it automatically set over here for a 10-tick stop and a 30-tick target. I don't like that 10-tick stop. I don't want to risk $100. If it comes back down here, it's going to come back down here. So I don't want to take that. I don't want to take that risk. Okay. So what I would do is I would take this and I just got a 5-tick. I'm going to put a 5-tick stop on that, which is like 1 tick below down here. Okay. 1 tick below that support zone. So that's what I've got at risk. And I kind of stopped the market. I kind of stopped the replay right here because I wanted to set that up and show you how these things work. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at these solid zones here. Okay. I'm looking at zones which are right here, which is, see that solid bar, but there's nothing inside that nothing inside that support zone. What that means is it's been tested, but it hasn't been broken. So that's a real good place for the market to come back down to. Well, and the more times they test it, people say the more times they test it, the more likely it's to be broken. That's wrong. That's not true at all. It's exactly the opposite. The more times you test it, the more times the market says this isn't worth it. You'll have people selling off from up here. Buyer stepped in there. Buyer stepped in there. Buyer stepped in there. Okay. Why wouldn't buyer step in before at the next time? That's a pretty good, darn good level to me. So I figured it's worth $50 to find out. All right. If I lose it, I lose $50. I hate starting the day on a trade that I lose. I've had that happen before, and it's become kind of a joke. Kind of a joke around here that Ed always loses his first trade of the day. So anyway, and people can look at that and go, well, yeah, you kind of cherry pick that. Well, no, I kind of didn't, because here's the rule. The rule is you trade from tested support to tested resistance. Tested support, tested resistance. Okay? I don't know about these guys up here. They haven't been tested. They haven't been tested up here. Haven't been tested up here. Market could come up 58.96. It would be pretty close to that 5,900 wholesale support zone. Could come up here. I don't know. But you know what? And then there's my next level. So if I hit that, okay, if I blow through it, okay, fine. Then let's start looking up here at order flow and what's going on. But I've already set up my first trade of the day. Let's see how it plays out. I've got it sped up because I don't want to sit here forever and bore you guys with me singing into the microphone or just talking about inane garbage. So you see, we have a push up here. I'm thinking to myself, wow, did I miss that opportunity? Well, if I missed it, I missed it. If I missed it, then I'll look at going short up here at that resistance zone right there. If I start getting if I start getting absorptions or anything or stuff up here, which I've already got, you kind of see those little pink things. Those are absorptions upside. I believe those are absorptions. Let's find out. And it's the absorption extreme. I can hide it. Yep, those were absorptions. I have an unfinished business. I have an unfinished auction upside, right past 58.72. So that's another high probability thing. It's pretty close. The market's going, hey, yeah, let's go up there and grab that. So if you'll notice, absorption extreme, I have stacked imbalances on the chart. There's these guys right here. Those are useful at times. Those are not. Sometimes they're not. But I really like price rejector, which you can see the X up there. I like the absorption at extreme right there. And I'm looking at, and I like unfinished business. Those are the three indicators that I would basically put it on my charts and look at those to say, where's my support, where's my resistance. Absorption up here, price wasn't able to push up. Price wasn't able to push up at night, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We weren't able to penetrate that. He tried it again. Generally speaking, the market is going to test a level 3 times before it gives up. So I fully expect for the market to test that again shortly before open. So it was at like, what, 7:20 in the morning, something like that. So it rejected off there. It tried it again, couldn't make it work. Okay. Rejected, tried it again, couldn't make it work. So let's see what happens. So I got this thing sped up 7 times. Again, I'm looking at those hollow, solid, the solid lines, hollow zones, solid line, hollow zones. If I get this trade and I win this thing, you know, that's 300 bucks. Okay. If I don't, what happens if it comes in and takes my stop loss out? Okay, well then that's a violated zone. That's no good anymore. So I'm going to start looking for hollow zones. Okay, it touched it. Oh, there you go. It touched it. Remember I hit the top of the zone, touched it, pushed past it by 1 tick, which is pushed past it by 1 tick there. So I got to fill at, that was 58.39. I got to fill at 58.40. By the way, when I started this video, I had no idea. I just put this chart up and I said, I want to start at like 7:45 in the morning, you know, 10 minutes before 7:40, 7:45 in the morning. I'm going to look at this chart 10 minutes before. I'm going to stop it, go back and replay it, and then I drop my emoji zone indicators on the chart, or my emoji indicators on the chart. So I have no idea. I really wasn't looking at price action for that day. I try to, here's my rules, and I'm trading these levels, okay? By the way, this risk reward thing, I wanted to talk about that while we're sitting in this trade. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I talked about risk to reward on Twitter, and I think risk to reward is garbage, and here's why. I want to get into a trade. Why? Because my risk to reward ratio is favorable? No, that's garbage, and here's why. It doesn't take into account anything. My risk, what's my risk? Well, how do you assess your risk? And how do you assess your reward? Well, my risk to reward is 10 to 1, which means what? How do you determine your reward? What are you looking at? The risk to reward on this situation is I'm risking 5 ticks to make 30 or 31, whatever that is. The safest thing to do would be, and this is a safe, I'm not looking at risk to reward, I'm looking at high probability entries and exits. That's all I look at. I don't care about risk to reward. I don't care about win-loss ratios. I don't care about any of that, because to me it's garbage. It's just garbage statistics that are intended to suck people in to buying trading education, and to me they're meaningless. I look at high probability risk to reward. What's my highest probability trade? Well, working with these, my highest probability trade is go long here at the top of that zone and get out at the bottom of the zone. Okay, that's my highest probability. And looking at this chart, that's, you know, that's pretty good. So I'm at right now I'm at a break-even point. I moved that stop up. Break-even was at 20 ticks. If you're trading, okay, if you're trading 2 lots, see those stacked imbalances right here? You could have got out there, take off 1 contract, and if it comes back in your face, it comes back in your face. You know, oh well, at least you got that profit. But I'm only trading 1. So it's a little bit of increased risk here. That was, what, 200 bucks right there, from there to that stacked imbalance zone, $200. That's where the market kind of fiddled around before. So here we go. What's happening now? I've still got that stacked imbalance zone, but it's not there anymore. And the reason why it's not there anymore is because of this bar right there. Price, once it bounced off down here at this resistance, basically what did it do? Bam, went right to the upside. It did not turn blue. I don't consider that to be a support zone. Okay, I wouldn't trade to that. And if it came back down here and bounced off that zone again and came up here, oh well, you know, I'm looking for high probability. I'm not looking for just grabbing a trade anywhere. I'm looking for absolutely high probability trades. I trade a pretty small account. I have a friend of mine that trades a pretty small account, and people that want to talk about, well, you got to have $50,000 in your trading account to be able to trade, because you're gonna, you're gonna lose some of that. Well, it's garbage. Again, you're gonna lose it if you know what you're doing. But why should you put your hard-earned money at risk and put it on the line out there if you don't know what you're doing? That's crazy, you know. Thoroughly evaluate what I'm saying, what other people are saying, what anybody's saying. And I'm not trying to say, hey guys, go off and get these emoji indicators and put them on your charts and this is how you trade it. This is how I trade it. Okay. Other guys trade it differently. I mean, some guys would have taken off right to see where it had that unfinished business, came up and filled it. Okay. Some guys would have taken off right there, and I probably would have too. If I was trading two contracts, I would have taken it off it. When second I saw that unfinished business, I would have put my my second contract to come off right there at 58.63, which is a couple of $100. That's respectable for for one trade. That's respectable. If you can make $200 every trade, if you get 5 trades a day, that's $1,000, man. You trade that and you walk away for the day. And the market does what the market does. So, and this is like I said, this is on a 7-tick reversal chart. You can change that. You could trade it on a 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart or whatever you want. These zones will change a little bit depending on what chart you put it on. And I looked at it on a Flex Renko, and it just, my eyes were gonna melt. My retinas were just gonna explode because there was just so much stuff on the chart, just because of the way that the Renko bars are done. So I like the reversal charts. They give me, see, they're giving me, here's where price reversed, here's your price reversed, here's your price reversed. It gives me a pretty clear picture of the market on where that reversal zone is likely to be. And then there's the emoji zone. I mean, I could have eyeballed that. I could have taken that off and eyeballed it and said, okay, fine. There's my price rejector. I'll just hide that because I'm already in this trade. See, I don't need that emoji zone to tell me price rejected off here. It'll probably come back and visit it. Price rejected off here. It'll probably come down, probably come back up here and visit it. Okay, I don't need those. The emoji zone indicators are just visual aids to tell me what's going on in the market. What have we hit before? What have we violated? What have we not violated? Okay, that was pretty clear to me. This was not, but they flagged it. This one, let's see, yeah, this one here, this one here was pretty clear. That's been violated. They came down and put an unfinished business down here. So I would look at, if I was going to take a short trade from the top, for example, I would take a short trade from the top and then look at, say, 9-ish. Where are we going to go for 9 o'clock? If I was trading this guy, because 9 o'clock is pit open and 9:30 is cash open. Anything can happen between pit open and cash open. And I, knowing crude oil the way I do, man, crude oil will sometimes get a little crazy. So this was that's a pretty safe trade right there. And you can see it worked out. It's a pretty safe trade. Okay, just got filled. Okay, so I'm up $300 minus commission. I could have put it one tick more and just walked away $300 clean, or $305. But see where it came up? Hasn't touched that unfinished business yet. Let me play it and see if it'll touch that, because that unfinished business is kind of a magnet. It's an unfinished auction right there. But I wanted to put that within the zone and trade that. So let's see, it's pit close has not happened yet. Let's see if it'll come back up here. That's where it came up to, but it didn't finish that auction. So I would imagine it would probably come, one maybe 2 ticks beyond that, and finish that auction, and then decide where you're going to go from here. Now we're in a resistance zone. Okay, we're coming up on 9 o'clock. We're in a resistance zone. So what I would want to do, I want to start. See, I'm seeing absorptions up here, 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 here. I'm starting to see those, but it's pretty much of a magnet to close this guy. So if it finishes that unfinished auction, I would want to look at going short there. There we go, unfinished business, and all we need is one more tick. Bam! Okay, we filled it. Okay, so it filled that unfinished auction. Okay, now let me slow it down a little bit because I'm not in a trade. I want to see what's going on. Okay, are we gonna? And we're coming up on 9 o'clock. Are we gonna push through it? Or we're not gonna push through it? Now, following my rules, I've already hit this. Okay, I could put a buy stop order or sell stop order down here. Let it pick me up. Okay, well, where's my target? Well, my target would be, say, right back down here. But I know that the market is probably going to go a little farther than that. This has been untested. I don't know what's going to happen with that. The market may, since it pulled back here, the market, it's just been ranging back and forth. It's going to break out one way or the other. I'd rather be on the right side of that breakout. So what do you think? It pierced it by what, 1 tick? Yeah, we got like 1 tick there, whatever that is. Yeah, 74, 58, 75. So we hit a wholesale price level, 58.75. Okay, so I would look to see, say for example, if I want to, I want a nice, I'd be looking at these absorptions. There's another absorption up top right there. So what I want to do, well, that's kind of a difficult decision. So let me, I want to talk it through. I've already violated this thing to the upside. Okay, I could come up here. Then again, I could sell it off. Okay, at that point, it just hit that 58.75 level, which it bounced off. See where it bounced off that before. I think the higher probability is a short. So I would take the short anywhere in here. I'm going to put a sell stop order right down here. There, I want to put a sell stop order, and I want to put my let's see, 51. That's okay. That's 5 ticks. Okay, so I got a 5 tick. Okay, if it comes down, if it goes back up and takes me out, I lost 50 bucks. Okay, so where are we going to go? We could waffle, but crude oil really doesn't. It'll range pre-market, but it really doesn't range post-market. So I'm looking at, where do I want to look at? Well, where's my next zone? Here's my next zone down here. Oh yeah, I drew that because of the I'd seen that earlier. So here's my zone down here. I got an unfinished business at 66. I've got a broken level at 72. Okay, we had unfinished business right there. That price rejection there. I think that we're gonna come down. So let me put this guy. Let me put this guy down here and see what happens. I want to put it at right around the top of that zone, right in here somewhere. I'll put it at 57.73 because that's the top of the zone. If it comes down further, it comes down further, but at least I won that trade. Okay, so let's hit play, see what happens. Okay, so I'm in short for and I might lose this trade. It's 4 minutes till market open, and I could be a little bit early on it. I don't know, but it is what it is. See what happens. But the general idea is to take that there, that zone. Okay. So see, we're bouncing off that absorption level right there. There's an absorption pin, or the absorption level. We're bouncing off that absorption level. I could have taken the short up there. Could have, and that would put me in a little bit more favorable risk to reward ratio. Could have, but I want to trade to that. If it does it again, then I'll go short there. Okay, we just had, see, pit open closed. What did we do? There's that absorption. It hadn't penetrated that absorption yet. Let's see what happens. I would not move my stop loss to break even. people have asked me that. I go, well, if I move my stop loss to break even right down here, I immediately get taken out. And I have nothing to work with. There's no cushion for the market to work with. I mean, you got to have a little risk in every trade, right? Okay, here's a double top here. Oh, got taken out. Okay, so that was a 5 tick. That was 5 ticks. I lost $50 on the trade, so I'm down to $260 or so. So what am I going to start to do? I'm going to start looking for another zone up here. Broke that resistance. I don't have any support. I don't have anything to bounce off of. Where am I going to put where am I going to buy? Where am I going to sell? I don't know yet. So let's let it play out. 904, 905. Let's let this thing play out a little bit. Let's need to be patient. I had a price rejection come on up here, but it went off. So there may or may not be a price rejection zone here. So I'm going to look at this guy. I'm going to look at this guy, and just the back of the envelope. Where do we think we're going to go? Okay, 50. We could come up here to 5908, but I don't have an entry. I have nothing up here. So price action's coming up, and people are going, well, that left you behind, Ed. Well, okay, fine. It left me behind. It is what it is. I'm like I said, I'm looking for high probability entries. And I probably should not have taken that short as close to pit open as it was. That probably was a lower probability trade in hindsight, but it is what it is. Sometimes we take trades, sometimes we lose them. And that was a lower probability trade, and I paid for that. Paid for that lower probability trade. So, okay, now we're up here. Okay, what are we going to do? That level had never been tested. Well, now it's being tested. Okay. So what am I going to do? I just had a price rejection off there. Let's see if it forms a zone. Did I have any? Absorptions up here? So there's a solid zone right there. So I would put my let's put a sell limit order up here. There we go. Okay. It's been here's your zone. Okay. It's starting to form. I'm seeing a tick line, but I'm seeing an absorption there. So that would be a good short. I think that would be a good short. Okay. So where are we going? So what? I'm still looking at something down here. Still looking at something down here to retest that. Okay. And that would be, I don't know, $500. Okay. So it formed that zone and rejected off it. Here we go back downside, back to the downside. It could pop up and test it again. It is what it is. I mean, that's the risk of trading. But I've got this zone now, okay, has formed that resistance zone right there. It's hollow. Came back up, tested it, did not break it, no matter what that dotted line says. I think it was because of this guy. But see, it didn't break that zone. It got absorbed there. I think that would be a good short. So put a sell stop order there and write it down. So let's see where we go. There's a support zone there, but that was resistance before. We could bounce off of that. Let's see what happens when price action comes down here. Remember, I really didn't even look at this chart, so I really, well, you got to take my word for it, but I really didn't know what was going on for the day. So I'm looking at, okay, stop losses break even, so I'm good to go. I'm going to let this play out. I don't have an absorption down there. I don't see an absorption down there, even though I got a wick on that guy. It didn't absorb. So sometimes that happens. Every now and then you'll see price action bounce off a level and come way back up, but there was no absorption. Right, there was no absorption right there. So, it is what it is. But there was an unfinished business bar there. Right there. So let's see how this thing see how this thing plays out. It's got a nice rejection off that guy. And you can see from the candles, that was a nice That was a nice reversal formation up here. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Its price is kind of waffling around here, but it's still early. It's 9:27. Let's see what happens at pit open, cash market. I'm sorry, cash market open. So we're looking at 9:30. I got it at 5. Hold on, we'll go up to 10 so we don't sit here forever. So we're coming up. Okay, cash market open. Just a few seconds here. Okay, bam, cash market open. So we got cash market open. What are we going to do? Okay, we're driving now. There's a lot of force. There's a lot of momentum behind that. There's no indication we're going to bounce in this zone. If you had one contract, if you got 2 contracts, cool. You know, you've got that. I've got a solid box here. I got a solid rejection here, but it penetrated it, and it looked like it penetrated with a fair bit of force. I'm going to see what happens. I'm starting to get absorptions here, but the market says no, we're going short. It just blew right through those pen absorptions. So you could have taken one off there, stop loss there, break even. Here we go. Okay, so is this a good zone? I don't know. You know, I don't know where I mean, it looks like we're selling off pretty good. So what would be, if it bounced off here, what would be my next zone is going to be right down in here, that unfinished business. And crude oil, that's not a bad move for crude oil. So I'm going to put it right up here. That unfinished business is right down at 57.66. So 58.96. What's it? $1,700 move, something like that. 58.96 to 57.72 something. Anyway, that's a $1,000 move right there, over $1,000 move. So, you know, how much money is too much? How much money is enough? You know, I know we all want to maximize our stuff here. What I want, and Leafer Emoji talks about this. He talks about moving your stop loss to the tops of the candles as they come down, and that's not a bad deal. Here's a nice little support zone right here, our consolidation, which is off this guy, 59. That's there. So you're looking at least $1,000 move right there, downside. Okay, I'm already up 104 ticks. My P&L is 760 for this trade, and I'll be looking at them retesting that unfinished business down here. That is not out of reach for crude oil. Anybody that's traded crude oil will say this puppy will move $1,000 in a day, easy. It'll move a point to a point and a half, or $1 to $1.50 per barrel every single flipping day. So I've got an unfinished business down here, up here. I have a newly formed resistance zone right there. I've got support right there. So what do? We come back up in that resistance zone, we test it, and we come back down. So I would not expect price action to stop there at 57.96. I would expect it to come back down into this zone and retest that and grab that unfinished business. We're going to test it again. Broke it. Test it again to the upside. What are we looking at? I got an unfinished business right here. That's at the top of that zone. Now, did I make a mistake in staying in that trade too long? Well, maybe so. Maybe I should have moved my stop loss down. But let's see what happens. From the tops to the bottom of that move is, what are we looking at? I got to do this quick because I'm running at 10 speed. Okay, so here's my 50% line right there. Looking at 58.50 for the pullback, and then the downside projection would be past this guy. So anyway. You know, trading is a game of patience. You have to wait for your you have to wait for your setups. Here's the support. Here's support right there. 58.24. Maybe I should have taken it off. Maybe. We'll see. I think it's going to come back down further just because my projections would put me down in this area. I don't expect it to come down to here. That's, you know, could sell off. That would be a nice move. Could sell off. But the last pin rejection was right down here. So I would expect that's where it would come. You can sit here and play these levels back and forth. I prefer to just kind of sit in the trade and sit back and kick back and watch. Okay, we had a support resistance become support right there, but it was broken to the downside. So that support zone is, to me, that's no longer valid because it's weak. It's a very weak support zone. So, you know, looking at down here for a bounce, and then looking ultimately down to the downside to that target. And that would be a nice, what, 59, 58, you know, that's a nice $1,300 move to the downside. Or if you're happy, hey, it's 10:30, okay? I you know, 10:30, we're starting to waffle down here. You know, if somebody wants to go, hey, you know what, I want to take profit off here. I just want to get out of that trade because I've been sitting in this for 2 hours or whatever. Okay, cool. You know, that would be a very valid thing. You know, walk away with $1,000 for the day. That's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. So let's see. Okay, we pierced that, which means we're going to the downside. The next level, next pin rejection I'm looking at, you know, it's down here, but it didn't form a price rejection. It's just an absorption, but it didn't form a rejection. So I would probably think you're going to absorb down here again, down in this zone here, and then probably pop up a little bit, waffle around a little bit. Still early, it's still 10:30, so we got plenty of trading day left here. Plenty of trading morning left. And let's see, this was Friday, so this was right before holiday, so everybody's going to be kind of looking at going to the Hamptons and fiddling around. I would not ordinarily take a look at this zone as a target because it was broken. However, there's that unfinished. It wasn't broken by much, signified by that unfinished business right there. Or, you know, people call it an unfinished auction. So I consider that to be valid. That zone would not be valid to me unless I had a mitigating circumstance, like that unfinished business right there. So to me, that's a valid zone. Okay. And see, we had a nice little pullback here, which shook people out of their shorts. Okay, right up here at unfinished business. It'll probably come back up here. And then, bam, here we go to the downside. Just got filled. 149 ticks for the day. 2 trades. That's it. And I'm sorry, 3 trades. I lost 1. Okay. So now we're selling off. Okay. We're still selling off, still selling off. Well, okay, fine. I'm, you know, $1,500 for the day. I'm good. I'm good with that. Okay. Now we're starting to form a support zone. Okay. Let me pause it real quick here. We're starting to form a support zone. Do I want to risk $50 on from here, from the unfinished business up to here? Maybe. How far have we come today? Let's look. I've got a study. I've got an analysis here, high-low for today. And all that does is just basically say, you know, here's today's low, and that's kind of pushing that's a misnomer. Here was today's high. Okay, 58.98. How far does crude oil move? You're looking at least $1 a day, unless you've got a range-bound market. $1 to $1.50 a day. So we're looking just the back of the envelope, 59, 58, say 57.50. Okay. Do I have anything down at 57? I'm right down at 57.50. Okay. Well, there was my target right there. Well, it came back down. I'm starting to form a support zone right here. So what I would want to do, I haven't had a rejection. Haven't had a rejection down here. It's not my trade, not my trade, not my trade. As David over at tradingfibs.com would say, not my trade. So I don't, you know, I see this, but I need something else. I need a, you know, this would be a setup to me. Okay, I need a trigger. Where's my trigger? Where's my trigger? Where's my trigger? Okay, the trigger up here was in this form reformed again. My trigger was that absorption up here. So I'm looking for an absorption. Where's my trigger? Where's my trigger? So support zone here. It's starting to fill. It's starting to solidify. Okay. Since I'm looking at getting into a long trade right here. Since it's support, let's see what happens. Now the main question. Okay, I just got an absorption. The main question would be, are they going to come down and hit that unfinished business? I mean, that's only 30 more ticks down. Okay. Maybe, maybe not. They've already come down a pretty fair amount. To me, I think it's worth $50 to find out. Okay, so I'm going to I'll put a buy limit order here with a 5 tick stop. Since it's right that absorption. Okay, it's worth $50 to me to find out. Okay, where am I targeting? I'm targeting that unfinished business right up here, and here's that. We got support. I don't have I have a resistance zone here. I have an unfinished business. To me, the safest trade would be targeting that right below that unfinished business, right there. So 58.36. It could come up here, you know, but the highest probability is right there. So let's see what happens. If I lose that trade, what's going to happen is it's going to come back down and grab that unfinished business. And oh well, it is what it is. Okay. Oh, got another price rejector there. Okay, I'm still okay. I'm still okay with this trade. It hasn't. If people are, you know, people might say at this point, get out, get out, get out. Well, you know, I'm risking $50. Okay, and it's $50. I've already made $14.90 for the day. It's $50. So I'm still in this trade. Still in this trade. Crude oil, you got to let it move about 20 or 30 ticks before you move your stop loss to break even, because sometimes it'll come down. But see, here's that zone. Here's that zone right there. I'm looking. It might retest it. It might come back in my face. I've got a price rejection. Absorption up there. Nice absorption. That's nice. Is it going to come back down? I don't know. Let's find out. Like I said, I got $50 at risk. Okay. Okay. We touched into that again. Here's a broken support zone. This could turn into resistance. I got a price rejector here. Okay, so where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? You know, it feels like it wants to come back down and hit that unfinished business. It might. Okay, if it does, then I'll look for that. I'll look for another setup at that unfinished business zone right there. Look for it right there. If it doesn't, well, you know, it is what it is. Then at least I'm in a trade right there. That's my trade. In the outlined box, in the absorption. Okay, we just moved my stop loss, just moved to break even, so we're in a pretty safe trade here. I'm in that trade. If I lost it, oh well. I've already, you know, one trade. I lost today. Two winners, pre-market. One was pre-market, one was post-market. And I ran it at 10x speed. I had slowed it down a little bit just to see that box form, to see, okay, fine, do I want to take that or not? Okay, now we're going upside. Okay, cool. We're up $1,700 for the day. Let's see if we'll come up and grab that guy. And again, I'm playing unfinished business. I'm playing price rejections. I'm playing absorptions. That's all I'm doing. And I'm just looking at these bars. You can see me taking the trades. I'm looking at these bars as they form. Even though it's replay, I don't know. Looking at these bars as they form. Okay, I took a chance on that trade. That was a higher probability trade. The only thing that was going against me was that unfinished business right down here. It could have come down and smacked me in the face. Well, you know, I lose $50. Where's my next trade? Okay, what's the alternative? If I lose that trade, where's my next trade? My next trade is that unfinished business right there. Okay, come down, it would come down, probably take that unfinished business out. Okay, it just bounces right in the middle of nowhere. That's a level. If it's in 92, if it's in 90, that's a level for something. I don't know. I don't have all my levels on the chart. Like, you know, where's London open, where's London close, where's the high low of yesterday, that sort of thing. I'm just trading these emoji levels. It didn't even come up to this guy. So let's see what happens. It's coming back down. And, you know, I know people are going, oh man, you're crazy. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Okay, took me out, one tick. Okay, what happened? It penetrated it. So I'm looking at this guy. See, I was in a break-even trade. I could have taken profit off there, but I didn't. Okay. Oh, whoops, dang it. I'm talking and I missed it. Here's an absorption. Okay, I got an absorption down there. And I would have taken that trade. I missed it. It is what it is. I got an absorption downside. It popped up. Put a buy limit order right there, and we go again. Okay, let me see if it'll come back down. Okay, I would put that. I don't have an emoji zone down here, so it would be a little bit riskier trade. But we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna cancel everything here, and I'm just gonna play the chart out. Let's see what happens. I expect it to come back down here and form another zone down here. If it didn't, oh well. I still got what, $1,500 for the day. You know, I'm just playing. I'm playing highest probability trades. I lost that one. That was a higher probability trade. I lost it. I risked $50 on that trade, and it came down and took me out. Oh well, it is what it is. So that's no longer a strong support zone. That's weak support because it came down and took it out. If it comes back down and takes it out, then it'll go for that unfinished business. But I expect it to probably retest it and break it again and come back down here and then form that zone. Okay. If it does, if it doesn't, it is what it is. And it's 11:22. It's coming into lunchtime. You know, we've got 3 hours to pit close. Okay, we've got a rejection up here. There's a price rejection. I'm looking for that emoji zone to form. Right now, I'm biased to I've got a slight bias to the upside because we've come down so far. I was expecting it to come down here. It's come down here and form that zone right there. We'll see if it comes back down again. It did not come down. I expected it to take out that unfinished business, and it did not come down. But I do expect it to test the sky again. So what I would do is I would put, let's do a buy limit order here. Came down and touched it, once, took me out. Came down and touched it again. I missed it because I consider that to be weak support. That's not my trade. But right there, if I'd have taken it at the top of the zone, then it would, wouldn't have taken me out. I'm kind of, I got to look because oh, I see, because I took it up here. If I'd have taken it there, if I'd have waited and taken it at that rejection right there, but I didn't. What was it? Wishes were horses, all beggars would ride. But I didn't. I took it there. It would have come down and not even taken out my stop loss, and then gone to the upside, and I'd be looking at that unfinished business level, up here in that support level up there. And I still think we're going to go back up there. Okay, we've got a zone down here. We've got we've got a price rejection up there. Let's see if we come back and turn back around and test that at a 5-tick stop. So let's see if I can grab this long here. Support, resume. Okay, resistance becomes support. We got a rejection off that guy. Let's see if she'll come back down and grab something. And let's see if the market will be nice to me today. If it doesn't, oh well, it is what it is. Okay, there. So I've got a support. I've got the broken support here. I've got another support zone down here. Okay. See what happens. So I'm coming back down. He looks like he's going to retest that absorption right there. And that rejection, that pin rejection zone. So I'm pretty safe. Looks like I got a pretty safe trade right here. Let's see if it'll come back down. I saw that zone for me and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's my trade. Let's see what happens. So we're kind of waffling around. We're being absorbed up here for the pullback. Probably another level up here, 5808, 5804. See what happens. Let's see if she'll pull back. If Mother Market will be nice to me today. Let's see. We've already gotten 2 rejections there. It should come back down and test it a third time, and then grab me in for the long. And we're coming back down, come back down, come back down. Hopefully it will not go through that and take me out. Come on. Okay. I got an absorption there. Too quick to take it. Too quick, too quick. So the market, now the market's going to, you know, sometimes the market will do this. They'll kind of suck you in, you know. Oh, yeah, go long, go long, go long here. And then they'll come back down and take out your stop. So I always look for an absorption within that box. If the absorption's outside of the box, I'm not going to take the trade. It's not a good, to me, that's a lower probability trade. Sometimes it works out, but sometimes it'll come back down in your face. So let's see what happens. I'm just sitting here waiting. Let's see if she'll come down and take me out. If Mother Market will be nice to me today. If Mother Market will not be nice to me today, oh well. We love Mother Market. Well, more or less. See, and that's kind of interesting. See where that pin rejection is? That's where he absorbed. That's a prime example of support becoming resistance. Okay? You bounce off a level. What happens when the next time you come back up to that level? It's going to bounce off it. And that's probably 57.88. It's probably a, you know, probably a level from yesterday. Probably Globex close or open or something. I don't have these levels on the chart because I'm simply playing order flow. I'm looking at order flow. If I wanted even higher, there you go. It's double down here, not my trade. If I forgot what I was gonna say. Consequence of getting old, I guess. Okay, we got another rejection up here, price rejection up here. I would not take that reversal trade right there because not my trade. I mean, it's counter trend. I could, you know, but that support's already been broken, so I consider that to be a lower probability trade. I've got an unfinished business up there though, so let's just see how it plays out. You know, I got $1,500 in the bank. I've lost a couple of trades, 1, 2, lost 2, very small losses. You know, it is what it is. 2 hours to pit close. See what happens. See, I should have grabbed it when it came right back down there because it was right inside. That was my trade. And I'm sitting here flapping my gums and I missed it. And if I wouldn't have been playing the chart at 10x speed, I would have probably seen it and grabbed it. You know, the second that absorption came on, grab that trade. It's in that support zone, grab the long, bam. And it worked out. See, it hasn't come back. Well, it hasn't come back yet, put that way. Sometimes it will. Sometimes it'll come back down and retest that first absorption inside that support zone. And that's what I'm looking at. That's a higher probability. That's the highest, to me, that would be a highest probability trade. So, you know, if it comes down and then comes back up to that unfinished business, oh well. And I missed that trade. Oh well, it is what it is. But if I would have been awake and I would have taken it, okay, outside the box, not my trade. Inside the box, my trade. So we just sit there and, oh, here we go. So I got, I'm in the box now, but I got an absorption. Let's see if it'll come down and grab me. I'll risk 5 ticks on this trade. And there. That's what happens when you're jacking your jaws and not paying any attention. Support comes resistance. Here we go. Let's see if it'll come back down, and that's worth, what's that? That's worth almost $300 right there if it'll grab that trade. Like I said, if I hadn't been jacking my jaws, I would have grabbed that. I would have grabbed that trade. Oh, would have grabbed that trade right there. Jacking my jaws again. Absorption, absorption, absorption. Come on, come down and get me. Come down and get me. Bam. Come on. Okay, we're in. Now let's see if it'll bounce back up. You got an absorption of the downside, so the probability is in my favor. Let's see if it works out. Okay, I'm risking $50 on that trade. 50.06. Was it last absorption, and then they had another absorption higher, had an unfinished business, they got filled right there. Okay, so we're going to the upside. Oh, let me, there. And let's see, 1 o'clock. I hate trading during lunchtime, but you know, if I'd been awake, I would have got that right there. That would, you know, ding dang duty. That would have been a great long trade right there. And you saw it setting up in the chart as I was playing it, replaying it, and I'm jacking my jaws and didn't see it. You know, oh well. Came down and took out my stop loss. I should have put it right back in here. When it took out my stop loss, I should have immediately gone long right there at that absorption. Because it didn't, you know, I thought it would come down here, but it didn't. It already hit that unfinished business there, and that was way down from the other day. So, okay, so we're up. So I made that money back. We're going up here. Support, there's support zone, support zone, support zone, and you can see them on the chart. And if you're fast enough, you can grab them. I wasn't. I was stupid. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, and we hit. It's 1 o'clock, and I will probably be done for the day. Here, if it hits this guy. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I know a lot of people that talk to their charts. You know? Okay, there's an unfinished business. That may be a warning. Okay, we bounced off that level, but we're still pushing. We had an absorption of there's an absorption of the downside right there. It absorbed. We're pushing up unfinished business. You know they're gonna clear it. They're gonna clear that flag. We got an absorption there. You know they're gonna clear that flag. Let's see what happens. I think they're still gonna come back into this zone. They might not. You know, in which case, oh well. You know, it's a scratch trade, you know, or yeah, I could just take it off there, but I still think they're going to come back up here and get it. Okay, here's a price rejector. I'm getting a price rejector, but it has not formed a zone yet. So I'm still looking at that, still looking at hitting that long right up here. Unfinished business we filled, price rejector we filled, or price rejector down here, but we came down up. There we go. Okay, what's that? $1,777 for the day. Okay, and we're looking at look at the chart stats. 1770, and we had five trades. Okay, and you know what? Goes back up here. Goes back up here. I don't care. It'll probably retest the highs. Okay, I don't care. I'm done. I'm out of the trade. And you know, if I had a setup, great. There'd be my next target, which is today's high. Even though that zone was broken, even though that zone was broken, okay, and I consider that a weak resistance there, still there's today's high. So weak resistance, probably blow through it, okay. But you know, I'd be out for the day. I mean, if you want to play with these levels, that's fine. That's cool. So you saw it in, well, maybe not real time, but you saw it on a replay chart on a market I haven't traded in months. Well, a couple of months, I guess. I have to go back and look at my statement because the last time I traded crude oil, I did not have the emoji indicators on my chart, and I lost $40. And I said, you know what, I'm done. I obviously can't trade this market. So these indicators, you know, you're looking at support resistance zones, which are very handily drawn on your chart. you're looking at absorption, and I'm only trading with what? I got a price rejector, I got unfinished business, I've got stacked imbalances, and I've got absorption at extreme. That's it. That's all I've got on here, and you can see how it played out for the day. It played out very, very well. $1,700 trading crude oil. Okay, here's a price rejector here, but I don't have an entry. I don't have, my last entry long was right here. Okay, I got out right there at that unfinished business. That's a high probability trade. There was a lot of momentum there, so it blew through that. Okay, let's see what it does. Just sit here on the sidelines and let's just see if it comes up to here. I don't know. Sometimes crude oil will do that. It'll run all the way down and it'll run all the way back up. And we're coming up. Pit close in about an hour, and that's when you'll see it kind of waffle and waffle and waffle around. What's nice about pit close is between pit close and the close of the day, if you haven't gotten out of a trade by then, it gives you some opportunity. You know, it's like I'm in a long trade and I didn't get out, and this would be like pit close, and crap, I didn't get out, it's coming back, I'm losing money. It usually will give you another opportunity to come back up to that pit close zone and get out of your trade. So anyway, I'm going to sit here and watch it for a minute. Let's go up to, because I'm out, let's see, let's go up to 30. Let's go up to 30 times just to see what happens. Okay, and let's tell you when pit close is. Okay, it hit that unfinished business by one tick. So if you'd have had that as a target to the upside, you'd have gotten filled there. And we're coming up on 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes to pit close. I have no entry up here. There's no support, no resistance, or no support zones. I would not be looking for a short up here. And I don't have anything here, so I'd be out for the day. And you see, even though see, now it's coming back down pretty hard off that unfinished business. If you're brave, you could have taken that short off the unfinished business. And that would have been a nice trade. I'd be looking at, if you had taken that trade, I'd be looking at right down here for a target to the downside. Not my trade. I didn't see a setup. So, and it's too early to pit close. I'm not getting into a trade. I try not to get into a trade after afternoon. Crude oil sometimes will do this thing. You know, you will get into a nice trade at the end of the day. There was a nice trade right there. I could have taken that right there. There's that, you know, as it popped up through that support zone right there. That would have been a nice trade right back to unfinished business, and they keep buying it up. So anyway, the chart's just playing way too fast. You gotta jump on these zones when you see them, and then trade to the unfinished business to the upside, and it's a pretty darn good setup. And we're coming off. Oh, we pit close. Okay, so we're just waffling up here. You had absorption at 58.69, so it did not make it up to today's high. But see those unfinished business, 1, 2, 3, nice targets. Nice targets for the day, and absorption right there to the upside. Bias is still to the upside for the day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry that this thing went on so long, but I did want to play for the day, and I did want to kind of show people. People were asking about high probability entries and exits, and that's how I would trade it. I didn't win every trade. I tried to take the highest probability trades, and I missed trades because the chart was going so fast. And you saw them play out right there. I lost that trade. I should have gone right back long at that point, and I'm talking and I missed it. Didn't. Okay, there's one trade right there. There's another high probability trade right there. I think I took that one. No, I didn't. I did not take the high probability trade right there. I didn't take it. See, stop loss down there. Another high probability trade in that zone. Came down and broke it, but not by very much, and then came back up. And now here we go to the upside. Hey, look at that. We might hit today. We might hit the high for the day yet. Just because it's resistance, and if you're looking, by the way, guys, if you're looking for a target, okay, Just because that's a dotted line does not mean it's not good, not any good. It means for a resistance level, if you're coming up through it this way, if you're on a long trade, because that's been, because that's dotted, it may be violated. So that to me would be a great target upside. That to me, and that's something that you have to take into consideration for support zones, support and resistance zones. That's a prior resistance zone, and we're coming up on cash market close, prior resistance zone. But the dotted line there says there's a high probability of being broken, so I'd be aiming for that now. If I had an entry over here, here's an absorption. Could have taken that. Anyway, let's recap for you. Here's that trade right there. I lost it, and I don't know why that zone was drawn down there before. As you can see, it obviously didn't mean any good because I lost that trade. Oh well. But if I'd seen it, there's the other. If I'd have taken that right there when it formed the other zone. Oh, I think it just broke it. Yeah. No, not yet. Not yet. It's still going up there. Cash market close. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It just touched it. So your long entry right there, 58.94, would have gotten filled. So that would have been, great trade. Was a $3,000 day or whatever, 3,000, 4,000, whatever that was. But grabbing $1,700 for the day, that's nothing to sneeze at. And I kept missing trades. I missed it. I missed that one there. There was my setup. I missed that one there. I took that one. There was the absorption right in my zone. I think that was there and it turned off. I think. Anyway, you'd have to replay the video to find out. But look at that, and that's great. I mean, here it goes, and that high blew right through that as I expected it to be. But that's a high probability. That would be a high probability target right there. Of course, you didn't know that, down at the bottom, but I mean, hey, you're in the money, man. From way the heck down here, you could have taken. I would not have taken that trade right there. That's to me, that's a little bit lower probability because it's a new zone. It hasn't been tested. That one was tested. That one was tested. That one was tested and broken, and then you came back up. Never came back took that unfinished business out. It might next week take that out, but that's something to look at. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me lose money, make money or lose money. I hope you enjoyed watching me miss trades because I'm talking instead of watching my charts. Anyway, and watching these levels. Anyway, again, I like these emoji zone or these emoji indicators. You don't have to use them. You can use, or any, Knopf makes some, Jigsaw Trading makes some. There's other companies that make, there's Inbox Wave that makes a very nice set also. I've just put these on my charts, and I've talked to Lee over at Emoji Trading, and I've looked at these high probability things. I've watched his videos, and these things work out. These trades work out very, very well. Okay, there we go. That's the end of the day. So 1770 at the end of the day for, what was that, 5 trades? I believe that was just 5 trades. So yeah, 5 trades. So there was my run up, drawdown, blah blah blah. So I'm, my last trade was $270. So I'm looking at 1770 for the day, and you're looking at like 1750, 1745 profit for the day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a little bit more of an insight into the emoji indicators. No, Lee isn't paying me for this. I wish he'd give me a free month or something, or for free 3 months, but it is what it is. I consider his advice and his videos pretty much invaluable. Oh, by the way, we've got and there's today's high. We've got another level up here. We've got a support zone right here. I would expect it to pull back into the support zone at the open on Sunday, and then probably push up a little bit, push higher. That would depend upon what happened Sunday night and what happened over the weekend. On crude oil, never traded crude oil. I haven't traded crude oil in a long time, but you can see how these emoji indicators are extremely handy, very helpful in pulling you into or helping you get into profitable trades. And I had what, 3 losers and 3 winners, something like that. And that was, whoops, trade. Where's my trade activity log? Where's my stats? There. Well, I don't have anything else in there, so you're looking at total loss. What, 40? I know I had more than that, but that's okay. You know, Sierra gets kind of weird sometimes. Profit factor is really nice. It's a nice profit factor. Trading crude oil is really nice in terms of it moves a lot in a day. If you're first starting out, you can see these indicators. It may or may not, you know, not every day is going to be like that. I did not cherry pick it. I just said I want to go back and make this video for somebody that asked me about it, and I just randomly picked crude oil because I hadn't traded it in a while, and I wanted to see how well I was going to trade it, real, you know, pseudo real time, and without trading that market for a while. So you can see 1770. So about you're looking at 17. You know, you're looking at what, $1,700, something like that. I don't know. 17. Oh yeah, the drawdown was 40. So the equity peak and the equity valley was like 40. So I don't know, what was that drawdown on that chart? A couple $100. Well, it was more than that. But stats. Anyway, you could see the trades on the chart. I got stopped out there for 1 tick. Should have gone right back in. or I could have moved my stop loss down to below that and not gotten taken out, but I didn't know at the time. So I would have, if it had not been, you know, playing at 1,000 times speed, I would have probably gotten back in long at that particular point. There's the absorption, there's the bottom of the zone. That's a pretty high probability trade right there, coming back through that zone. So let's see what we got real quick. Okay, so I got stop loss. I got stopped there for 4 ticks. Yeah. So I had a stop loss. I made 30 there, minus 4. 123 ticks there. Back down in that zone. Had a stop. Well, not a stop, but I mean I made 1 tick on that. That was not a loss. So I only lost what? You know, you're only looking at that. Trying to walk it up, 27 ticks there to that support zone, and then just let it go for the day. If I wanted, you know, if you wanted to, you could have taken that trade right there, right in here, and then just ridden it up in here, whatever. Just work the levels back and forth, and then by the end of the day, here we go. Here's that big resistance zone right up there, which probably the market was heading for all along. I saw it on the chart, so it is what it is. It had clearly and plainly reversed down here when you got the this stuff right down in here, this price action right down in here. They were not going for that unfinished business. I hope they would have, but they didn't. That was 57.33. What was the high for the day? When they turned that around, that was 56.96. Or sorry, 58.96. 57. I would be estimating 57.96 or so. And they didn't come back down there, but oh well, it is what it is. 58.96, 57.96. That would have been a nice $1,000 move down. Anyway, it is what it is. That's the chart for the day. You can see my missed opportunities down here. You can see my stop out. When I saw that other absorption, I should have figured I was going to get stopped out and either move my stop loss another 5 ticks down, or, which I hate to do, I tell people never move your stop, or gone back in long when I got stopped out here, absorption zone, support zone, gone long there, and then ridden it back up to wherever. But, oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, for the 8th time, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's 9:30 at night. I'm getting a little bit tired. This has been a long video. I apologize. Oh, and you can see the W formation down here, kind of that crooked W formation there. And then here's that shoulder or whatever. You know, that would be your unfinished business. That would be a nice target. And if you're trading multiple lots, nice target up here where we started out. So if you're looking at price patterns and, you know, head and shoulders and inverted head and shoulders and that sort of thing. Anyway, have a good evening. It's 9:40 at night and I'm thinking about hitting the sack. See y'all.